রিঙ্কি
sir.
এটা হোৱাটছএপত মেছেজ দিয়াচোন বনিক ছাৰক নহলে ফোন এটা কৰাচোন
মই ফোন কৰিছো স্যার আমার ইউটিউব স্ট্রিমিং স্টার্ট হৈ গল
सो सिंह सर इनफॉर्मली आपसे परिचय करा देता हूँ टीम पे है डॉक्टर जीवन ज्योति काकोटी ही इज कोऑर्डिनेटर ऑफ IQSC and head of the department English.
Okay.
And Dr. Rinki Das, she is head of department HRM.
Okay.
And
nice.
Miss Himadri Gogai, assistant professor in department of English. Miss Sonashri Das, she is assistant professor department of accountancy.
Okay.
Hi sir.
Hello.
Mr. Anupal Goswami, department of banking, assistant professor. So we all are organizing from the organizing team, sir.
Okay, great.
So have a talk with our IQC coordinator, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Fine, sir.
Okay. Just I was having a talk with Rajesh about the weather in Assam and Golaghat, and he said that it's quite humid in Golaghat.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's too hot.
But I miss the weather of Assam. I love it. Yes.
Yeah. So you have been to Assam many times, no?
Not me. I am Assamese only. I'm born and brought up in Assam only. Okay. Is born, schooling, college, university from Dibrugarh, PhD from Dibrugarh, everything from then first 5 years I served in Dibrugarh University only. So your college was having the BBA center in the year 2004-2005.
Yes.
BBA.
Yeah.
So actually I was the person who was in that steering team who started BBA at Dibrugarh University.
Oh.
So me, Pranjal Bejbora, Himatri Burman. So we have started the entire course curriculum of BBA, then regulation, everything is done by me and Himatri only, Himatri Burman.
Oh.
Yeah. So now I think you are not running this BBA course.
No, because of lack of students.
Yeah, at that time also because the very few number of students were willing to join BBA. So now many of the colleges like Women's College Tinsukia have also dropped.
Yeah. Actually, I think we had 2 batches only. Then it came into that is because of that.
Yes. So, আপনি PhD ডিব্ৰুগড় পৰা কৰা নি?
নহয়, I did from Assam University, Silchar.
Assam University. কোন চনত?
Yeah. 2015.
15 তেতিয়া মই তাতে আছিলো।
2000.
কাৰ আন্ডাৰত কৰিলে?
মানে BC Das. English Department of English, BC Das.
अच्छा BC Das. अच्छा BC English. Okay. 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 2008 to 2017, I was in Assam University.
Oh, 2008 to 2017. Yeah.
17, but I joined Triple IT in 2013. So again, after 1.5 years, I have to go went back to Assam University in the year 2014. So 14, 15, 16, and half 6 months of 17. Around 3 years again, I was in Assam University. Then again, I came back to Triple IT Allahabad.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Hello, Singh. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Fine. ঠিকে আছে?
ভালে আপনার ভালে আছে?
ভালো, ভালো, ভালো।
Okay. এইটো অফিসত আছে নে ঘৰত আছে?
নাই, অফিচতে আছো।
অফিসতে আছে। আচ্ছা
অফিচতে
আচ্ছা।
আছো।
ওকে। পার্টিসিপেন্ট জয়েন করা নাই নি? Only
We
attending.
have not shared the link yet. They will join very soon, sir.
Okay, okay, okay.
লিংকটো পালা জিডি স্যার জয়েন কৰি আছো রিঙ্কি
Yes, sir. না এটা আমি দেখতে পেতেছি না একটু মুভ
হ্যালো স্যার গুড ইভিনিং
Good evening, Dr. Rajesh. Actually, it was taking some time to connect. Anyway, ultimately,
Hello, good evening, Bonik.
good evening, sir.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening. It was taking some time to connect. I think a bit slow. It was a bit slow. Now it is connected, but I'm satisfied now.
all right sir but you are in time sir we have 2
Yeah.
minutes 2 minutes more to start
Oh, no problem.
now I think we can start sir no rinki
Sir, 1 second. Sir, 1 second.
okay
Sir, shall I start now? I should start?
yes yeah rinki it's exactly 5 you can start
Okay. Hello, everyone. A very good evening to all of you present in this platform with us today for this webinar. Myself, Dr. Rinki Dash, Assistant Professor and Head of the Department of Human Resource Management, Golaghat Commerce College, on behalf of the organizing committee and the entire fraternity of Golaghat Commerce College, welcomes you all in this national webinar on entrepreneurship as a career for youth. Now, I would like to request our principal of Golaghat Commerce College, respected Paresh Soikia sir, to inaugurate the webinar by his inaugural speech. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rinki. Good evening to you all. Respected Dr. Ranjit Singh, Associate Professor, Indian Institute of Information Technology, Allahabad, and Dr. Gaur Gopal Bonik, Associate Professor, Department of Accountancy, Guwahati Commerce College, Dr. Jibanjyoti Kakoti, Coordinator, IQAC, Golaghat Commerce College, faculty members of the Department of Commerce and Human Resource Management, members of the webinar organizing committee, and my dear participant friends. I welcome you all to the national webinar on entrepreneurship as a career for youth, organized by Department of Commerce and Department of Human Resource Management, Golaghat Commerce College. Just a few years ago, Indians were seen to follow and pursue only some well-defined career paths. However, the opening up of the world economy during 1990s and the great advances in IT field had a far-reaching impact on the way business was done all over the world. These changes open up new horizons and unexplored territories for the youth and ambitious ones who were not satisfied to be put in a career bracket for their entire lifetime. Startup and new business ventures started gaining popularity in our country, and entrepreneurship began to be viewed as a career option. With the objective of discussing entrepreneurship as a career for youth, the Department of Commerce and Department of Human Resource Management, Golaghat Commerce College, is organizing this national webinar. Our prominent resource persons will discuss the issue in detail, and I am very much hopeful that it is going to be a very lively session and our participants would be highly benefited from this academic exercise. With these few words, I declare that this national webinar open. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to request Dr. Jibanjyoti Kakoti, sir, Co-Ordinator, Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Golaghat Commerce College, to offer a brief welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good evening to you all. Respected Principal, sir, research persons for today's webinar, Dr. Ranjit Singh and Dr. Gaur Gopal Banik, coordinator of today's webinar, Mr. Rajesh Jaiswal, joint coordinator Dr. Rinki Das, faculty members of the Department of Commerce and the Department of Human Resource Management, members of the webinar organizing committee and the technical team, and my dear participant friends. It's a proud privilege for me to welcome all of you to this national webinar on entrepreneurship as a career for youth, jointly organized by the Department of Commerce and the Department of HRM, Golaghat Commerce College, in association with the IQAC, Golaghat Commerce College. The topic of today's webinar is even more relevant for the northeastern region of India than in any other parts of India. Statistics show that only a very few youngsters of the region are willing to accept the risk of taking up entrepreneurship as a career. The return of the migrated workers to their native places due to COVID-19 induced situations might have encouraged them to explore the prospects of entrepreneurship in the region. At the same time, the migrated young workers who return home after nationwide complete lockdown might reassess their homecoming from the entrepreneurship perspectives, unless, of course, the respective governments fail to prepare a roadmap for channelizing them to achieving such a goal. In a state like Assam, there are ample opportunities for entrepreneurship development in agriculture, sericulture, floriculture, bamboo culture, tourism, tea, traditional art and culture, fishery, and many more. But unlike other states of India, Assam and the entire Northeast, for that matter, is lagging far behind in boosting the number of successful entrepreneurs due to a legacy of natural apathy towards such endeavors, and also for the lack of an entrepreneur-friendly government policy to boost, mentor, and support entrepreneurship ventures. While the immediate need is to keep these return workers absorbed in some works under MNREGA, etc., the government must do the needful for creating an environment for encouraging at least the young ones to become successful entrepreneurs. If that happens, the unemployment problem of the state can be fixed to a considerable extent. I am sure our eminent resource person will discuss all the paraphernalia of entrepreneurship as a career for our youth with some special reference to India's Northeast. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, we would like to start by speaking out on the theme of this webinar that developed countries are moving from managerial to entrepreneurial economies. India, as an emerging economy, is ensuring that entrepreneurship is embraced as a career choice for our young generation. This definitely justifies the relevance of today's discussion. And now, without any delay, let us have a brief introduction of our eminent resource person of today's webinar. Firstly, I would like to introduce our resource person for the first session, that is business policies and strategies for small business enterprises in new normal. For this session, we have with us our honorable speaker, Dr. Ranjit Singh. Sir is an associate professor, Department of Management Studies, Indian Institute of Information Technology, Allahabad, Prayagraj. Sir is one of the founder teachers of Center for Management Studies, Dibrugarh University, Dibrugarh. Sir has a specialization in the area of accounting, finance, and entrepreneurship. Sir has authored a large number of research papers in both national and international journals and has also authored a number of popular books. Sir has completed research projects under UNICEF, the British Council, and ICSSR. He is a member of the editorial and review board of many reputed journals and has delivered talks in many universities, colleges, and business schools across India and abroad. Sir is also passionate about writing poetries and quiz competitions. Today, his deliberation will be on business policies and strategies for small business enterprises in new normal. Thank you, sir, for being a part of this webinar. Now, I would like to request our honorable speaker, Dr. Ranjit Singh, sir, to take over the first session. Over to you, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
You're audible. Perfectly all right.
Yes. So, if I have to give a gist of my entire presentation, then ma'am and our previous speaker, the principal and the director, IQSC, have given the summary of the entire presentation. It is always wonderful to be there in Assam in the midst of our own people, because basically I'm from Assam only. So whenever I get any opportunity to be interact with our people, so it is always a very pleasant and wonderful feeling. So that only a person who is away from his home can understand. So the presentation that I am supposed to give today, it is in the form of a slide. So let me go for the slides here. The host has disabled screen sharing. Host, kindly enable this screen sharing mode for me so that I can upload my slides. Yes, now it's okay. Okay. Now is the slide screen visible?
Yes,
Is it visible?
visible, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. Visible.
Thank you. So, respected principal sir, Director IQSC, Dr. Rajesh Jaiswal, Madam Rinki Das, and all the learned faculty members of Golaghat Commerce College. So, first of all, a warm good evening to each one of you. and hope you are keeping yourself safe and sound in this global pandemic. The topic that I will be going to discuss today, which has been given to me by the coordinator of this webinar, is that business policies and strategies for small business enterprises in new normal. So the question is, what is business policy? So business policy, it's a guideline which business needs to follow considering the impact of internal and external environmental factors. Okay. Now I will be quickly moving to the next slide. Next is the strategic management, where considering the internal and external environment, we try to frame policies to tap some of the opportunities available in the environment, and that is actually all about the strategy. If you just look at the dictionary meaning of the word strategy, it is derived from the war. So in the dictionary, the word strategy means the art of generals. So basically this is a military term which is now used in business as well. So there are different stages in strategies, right from stage 1 where we are now, then where how can we ensure arrival, then stage 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, and ultimately we have to reach at certain decisions, reach a certain conclusion, and that is all about strategy. Now the third term which is given is the entrepreneur. So entrepreneur is a change agent, and he or she undertakes the risk associated with forming the business for commercial use. But again, the word risk is again debatable. So we'll come to that later on, whether an entrepreneur is undertaking risk, or he's managing risk, or the entrepreneur is avoiding risk. So an entrepreneur has an useful foresight, and he identified the potential demand for the goods and services. So basically this in brief about the definition of an entrepreneur. And the another thing which is given in the topic is the new normal. Nowadays the term used is the new normal. Now what is new normal? So because of this outbreak of COVID-19, so many SOPs, standard operating protocols, have been introduced by the government. Maybe the social distancing, or the mask, or the sanitizing, or so on and so forth. We know each of the everything. So now it is also said that somehow, whether we like or not, but we have to learn to live with this new normal. Not meeting people, maintaining a social distance or physical distance, wearing the mask or sanitizing our body and the house or the surroundings. Now these are the new normals. A new normal is a state to which an economy or society settles following a crisis. And this term, the new normal, it was first introduced during the financial crisis of 2008. So like as I said that this is a new normal during this corona, there are certain protocols and which we are assuming that this is a new normal. Earlier, a different crisis was there, and for that crisis, the normal was different. Prior to that, a crisis was different, and later on in future, there might be a different crisis. So for that also, the normal might be different. As Sri Krishna have rightly said in Bhagavad Gita, that yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha duskritam dharma sanstapana tharya sambhavami yuge yuge. So now the new normal is something different. Maybe in future some other crisis will be there, and then during that other crisis, the normal will be something different. So this differs from the situation that prevailed prior to the start of the crisis. And as I told, this term has been used, started to be used in the financial crisis of 2007 and 8, and since then this term has been used many times in many of the crises. In Corona pandemic, this is the latest example of using of this new normal. Prior to that also, there was some crisis. 2007-8 crisis itself was there. Some war was there in Gulf countries, and some other crisis was there in Africa and here and there. So for every place, from every geography, the normal keeps on changing. So that's why this new normal. Now, what is the new normal for Indians? So for us Indians, the new normal is that we have to accept that this corona will be there for a considerably long period of time. It is not going to eliminate from our society. Maybe in October or November or December, we cannot give a deadline. And it is also true that we cannot stop our working following this corona crisis. We have to keep our economy going, and we have to do everything in the midst of this new normal. So we have to learn new ways of doing things. We have to learn new ways of doing business. We have to learn new ways of doing teaching, running academics, running institutions. As we have already learned, this organizing of this webinar itself is an example that we have adapted to the new normal. Now, this is the photograph of Nataraj. So Nataraj is known for that he has created the art of dancing, but Nataraj, one more dance is also associated with Nataraj, that is Lord Shiva, that is he used to do this Tandav. And Tandav Nritya is primarily associated with the destruction. So whenever this new normal, just in the previous slide, we were talking about this new normal. So this new normal is arising because of the crisis, and whenever some crisis has to be there, the world has faced any crisis. So all the earlier infrastructure, all the earlier beliefs and procedures were destroyed, and something new is created. When the world has faced the Great Depression of 1929, so this was a new normal which continued for several years. And when the World War II was there, so the world came out of this Great Depression. The World War II was the reason behind elimination of this Great Depression. So whenever we have to create something new, some earlier things, earlier structures have to be demolished, and that is called as creative destruction, which is symbolized by Lord Shiva, because whenever he used to do this Tandav Nritya. So this the earlier establishments, earlier procedures, earlier practices, earlier infrastructures, earlier establishments, everything destroys, and this gives the hope and scope for creating something new. Now this corona has destroyed everything, and the destruction of the entire economy, the collapse of the economy, has given us a scope that something new will emerge out of this corona crisis. Now what this new will be there today, we are not able to see, we are not able to visualize, but we'll be able to visualize maybe 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, or maybe 5 years down the line, that if corona would not have been there, then this new normal would not have been there. As I just told, that organizing of this webinar on this virtual mode itself is something very evolutionary. Maybe 5 months back, if someone was told that we have to deliver a lecture sitting here in Indian Institute of Information Technology, Allahabad, at Golaghat Commerce College, it was something, okay, we know that there is some technology, but nobody bothered that we have to use this technology. But now we are compelled to use that, and this is how this innovation keeps on going. So this is all about this creative destruction, and Schumpeter, he has coined this term, this creative destruction, Joseph Schumpeter, and launching innovations that simultaneously destroys old industries while ushering in the new industries and approaches. This is the new normal. Okay. Now, when we talk about this entrepreneurial process, so this process might have been explained to you many times in the class, so I'm not going to explain this everything, explain this once again. So just in a brief, this circle itself is self-explanatory to explain what exactly is this entrepreneurial process. It starts with developing a business plan. Then we have to acquire resources. Then we have to manage the organization in the form of company or partnership or sole proprietorship. Then it will be harvesting, then discovery, and then again this circle, it keeps on rotating, and this is how this entrepreneurial process proceeds. How many of you have seen the movie Rocket Singh, Salesman of the Year? Definitely many of you might have seen this movie Rocket Singh. I'm not able to see your screen, so I assume that many of you must have seen this movie Rocket Singh. It was something around 2007, 2008 or 9. This movie was released. And if I ask you whether this Rocket Singh, he was an employee. If you just look at the card of Rocket Singh, Salesman of the Year. So he was an employee, but still, by being the employee, he has created an enterprise which is bigger than his parent company itself. And at one point of time in the movie, he has given the offer to his existing boss that he is willing to buy his own company. Now, what was so special about this story of Rocket Singh? That being an employee, he dreamt to be an entrepreneur, and he succeeded. What was so special? I leave it up to you to decide and think. What was so special? He had some drive, he has some desire, he has some dream, and most importantly, he had a passion to create something new. And here, this is the crux of entrepreneurship, which makes a distinction between a businessman and an entrepreneur. Businessman simply thinks, or he or she, whosoever it is, he or she thinks about making profit. But entrepreneur, he or she thinks about creating something new, bringing certain change in the society, make some permanent change, or entrepreneur tries to bring a solution to a problem. Businessman might be using that solution and earn a lot of money, but again, remember, the businessman is a businessman and is not an entrepreneur. This is another picture. Rocket Singh I have already explained. This movie Guru, it is a Mani Ratnam film, and it is based on the life of the great Dhirubhai Ambani, the founder of Reliance Industries. This movie is freely available on YouTube, and now thanks to the Reliance Jio, that's each one of you might be having this 2 GB of data every day. So any day on which your classes are not there, you can utilize your 2 GB data to watch this movie. Who has not watched till now on YouTube? And it's an excellent movie which will demonstrate what actually entrepreneurship is all about. Another movie, Band Baja in Bharat, it also talks about a passion of two friends. Later on, they become couple to start something new of their own. That they do not want to work under someone else. They want to be the boss. They want to be the master of their own destiny. And they have started something, a new company. They created something new, an idea, and ultimately they created a business. The fourth one, Manji. This is also actually taken from a movie, The Maji, the Mountain Man. Now, I told you at the beginning only that there is a difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman. Whether it is a Rocket Singh or Guru Khan Desai or Band Baja and Bharat, all were entrepreneurs with an objective to make profit, with an objective to make money. But if I say that Manji, Dasarath Manji of Bihar, he was also an entrepreneur, but how much profit he made? He has not made any profit, but he has created something. He has created a new road which has shortened the distance traveled by the local people of that region by certain kilometers, and it has made the life of those people very comfortable. So he is also an entrepreneur. Now another example. Now each one of us are talking about this Ram Mandir and Lord Rama and so on and so forth. Now, first disclaimer that whenever actually we talk about Ram or Krishna or Gautam Buddha, we normally associate our religious belief along with them. But I don't consider Ram or Krishna as a religious person. Rather, they were the historical personalities who lived on this earth. And if Ram was an historical personality, he had certain qualities. What was those qualities? He had leadership, initiative, he had the patience, perseverance, risk taking, respect, and ability to include everyone with him. Now, the question is, was Ram a true entrepreneur? Definitely, he was not a businessman, but he was an entrepreneur. He has created something new. From north to south, he has traveled that long distance, created Ram Setu, conquered Lanka, and again given it back to, though he has not taken it, he has given it back to Vibhishan only, the family member of Ravana. But the question is, he was an entrepreneurship. He had that leadership capability. He had that initiative, patience. He for 14 years he kept patience, perseverance, keep on trying and trying every time. So this was, now all these slides, whether it is of Dasarath Maji or Ram or Guru Kant Desai or Rocket Singh, all these slides I just have shown to you people, my dear students. Again, all these things I'm talking to the students only, because I can't dare to talk to the learned faculty members of the college. So all these things are to the students only, just to demonstrate them what is actually entrepreneurship, and how an entrepreneur is different than that of a businessman. Okay. Now, whenever actually we talk about entrepreneurship, it starts with discovery, generation of an idea, identifying a business opportunity, evaluating all those business opportunity, and then harvest that business opportunity. So that is all about entrepreneurship. Now, let us talk about some of the existing entrepreneurs which we have seen recently, how small changes have changed the way we live. The small creativity of the people have changed people's life. Now, some idea, like one idea, that there was a problem of Islam, a small denomination of coins and notes. Like whenever we go to any shop, whenever we go to any mall, or using a rickshaw or auto rickshaw, and suppose the fare is 44 rupees, and if we give a change, if we give a note of 50 rupees, so that shopkeeper, instead of returning that 6 rupees, he or she will be giving us 2 or 3 chocolates, that we do not have change, and keep these chocolates. So ultimately we end up paying more money. Instead of 44, we are paying 50 rupees, and throughout the day we end up paying more money than what actually we required, and ultimately we buy some of the unnecessary things that actually we don't require. So this was a problem. Now someone have visualized this problem, and this was the problem of change, and now he come up with a technology called pay through mobile, Paytm, that if your bill is 44.5, you have to pay exactly 44.5, not a single penny more, not a single penny less. You need not to keep any change. The problem of carrying change, carrying money, everything is eliminated, because you have to just pay through mobile. And now this now what is the creativity here? Because the person who have invented Paytm from Delhi, when he went to China, Paytm is actually a Chinese concept. But remember, I'm not saying that this is a Chinese company, this is Chinese concept, but some Chinese investors have invested money in it. So when he went to China, he has seen that every shop owner was having a mobile phone, and the barcode was actually carried by the customer. So if I am going to your shop, I will be buying something, and then I will open the barcode. I will take out the barcode from my pocket or from my bag. I will show it to the shopkeeper. Shopkeeper will scan it from his mobile, and the money was paid. Now what he did, he has just reversed the entire process, that the barcode will be with the shopkeeper, and we will be using this mobile phone, the scanner in the mobile phone, to pay the money. Thus the things have been reversed, and this has revolutionized this entire concept. So this is one problem was there, and he tried to find a solution to that problem. Now there was a problem of home servants, and because especially due to this nuclear and small families, everybody is in need of some helpers, some domestic servants or the maid servants. And it is also true that it is very difficult to get good and reliable maid servants for our day-to-day job. It may also so happen that I don't require servant every day, but on a certain day in a month, certain dates in a month, I might be requiring the services of some people. Maybe I'm an old age people, and on a particular day I require some boy or girl to pay my electricity bill or mobile bill, and I'm not able to go through that. Just a minute, excuse me. Sorry, it was something official which was cannot avoid. Okay, now this was a problem. Now what was the solution? So there is a chotu.com. You just log into the chotu.in and just give your request that I need a chotu for 2 hours or 3 hours in a particular day, and the boy will come along with his identity card. He will show or she will show his identity card or her identity card, and took money from you, buy all the grocery items from the market, give it, hand it over to you, submit the bill, settle the bill, and he will charge his or her charges on hourly basis or daily basis, and he will go away. So this was a problem, and a solution was introduced, and this chotu.com was very much in demand when this demonetization was introduced, because I need 2-3 people who can stand in different ATMs to withdraw money, because on one card was able to withdraw only 4,000 or 3,000 rupees only, and there was a huge long queue before every ATM counter. So I can book 2-3 chotu who will be standing in all the different ATMs, and when his or her turn will come, then he will make a call that okay, मेरा number आ गया, आप आके अपने ATM से पैसा निकाल लीजिए. So this was how this entire thing was working. So there was a problem, and then solution came. Cinema. This was those who were of my age, those who were born in 17 and 80s, we are accustomed of going to this kind of cinema, and buying a ticket was an Herculean task. And if someone got the ticket from the counter, and while coming out of this counter, the feeling that we used to have, that okay, actually we have won the World Cup, this kind of feeling we normally used to have, that ticket kharid liya, humne World Cup jeet liya. But this was a problem. Now what was the solution? A book my show is a solution, that if you want to buy ticket, you need not to go to the cinema hall, you need not to stand in the queue, you need not to fight with your fellow cinema goers. You can just log into your mobile, you can download an application, log into that, and then you can just book your ticket using your net banking or debit card or credit card. So the things are revolutionized, and this is the birth of this multiplex cinema. This is how. And now there are no crowd in front of the cinema hall, especially for buying tickets. Now, bargaining with the auto rickshaw, this was a common scenario. And if someone is standing on the Golaghat bus stand or Golaghat railway station, and from Golaghat bus stand he has to reach Golaghat Commerce College, I do not know how much is the actual fare. And if the auto rickshaw owner, he knows that this is a new person in this locality, so even though the fare will be 50 rupees or 100 rupees, he will charge 2 times or 3 times than that of the actual fare. This was the practice. Now this was the problem. Now what was the solution? So the solution is brought in the form of Uber or Ola, that everything is transparent. You will be able to see the distance from your mobile, like how much is the actual distance and how much is the fare, how much you have to pay. Everything is transparent, and now comfortably you can complete your journey, complete your ride using Uber or Ola, and along with the sense of security. there was a huge unorganized online business, and especially because of this corona crisis, nobody wanted to go out, and all the shopkeepers, they cannot go online overnight, but all the shopkeepers, they can install one application in their mobile phone which will help them to go online. And if just they install one application in their mobile, and any customer whosoever will be logging into that application, he or she will be able to see who are the shopkeepers in his nearby areas and who are accepting orders through online, and he can or she can, using his mobile phone, using that particular platform, place order, and his or her products will be delivered at his doorstep. That one such solution is the nextdoorhub.com. That nextdoor hub is one application that any unorganized retailer can install in his mobile, and he will be as good or she will be as good as Amazon or Flipkart.com. That he can receive online orders, he can deliver online goods. Only thing is that he should have that requisite infrastructure. Okay. So this was the things which has already been introduced. Now, particularly coming to the state like Assam, where we have a lot of potential, we have no dearth of the natural resources, we have no dearth of fertile land, then why these things are not happening? So I will just take 2 or 3 slides to explain about another term, that is agropreneur. Entrepreneur, we have understood. Now agropreneur. Who is an agropreneur? It is agropreneur is also an entrepreneur who uses agriculture to build a business. Now, Assam is a state where agriculture as an entrepreneurial activity was taken long back. For example, this tea gardens. Tea garden is an agricultural activity, but it is an entrepreneurial activity. Fisheries, mushroom cultivation, and so forth. So this is also another opportunity. Now, if we just kept on doing this traditional farming and the way farming used to be done, then definitely it is not going to bring any change. But now there are many farmers around the world. If you have heard the name of Israel, which is not having enough water to irrigate its plants, but still it is producing so much of the agricultural product, at least to the requirement of its own people, and it is only just based on this agropreneurship using technology and new methods. Can agriculture be entrepreneurship? Agriculture also requires farsightedness. It also requires leadership, because everybody is doing a particular cultivation. If I can do something different, then that can make a difference. It is all about risk taking, return. It is initiative. Like someone has started doing one particular kind of cropping, then everybody will start following them based if it is a profitable. Innovation, like multi-layer farming is an innovation. Need achievement theory, exposure, everything. So actually the problem is in our country, which is majority dominated by the farmers, and all the farmers are in fact entrepreneurs, but we are not realizing that. Somehow we have destroyed our farming sector, we have destroyed our agricultural sector, and now we are running after some other areas, some other avenues that we want entrepreneurship. But in our country, all the farmer, everybody in the village is an entrepreneur. And there cannot be a bigger entrepreneur than a farmer who is taking so much of the risk and so much of the return associated with that, if properly cultivated. So much of the all this leadership activity or initiative or innovation, whatever you just name it, after an entrepreneurship, everything is done by a farmer, but still we are not considering farmer as an entrepreneur. This is the photograph of a biofloc fish cultivation, which is normally done in the northern and the southern part of the country where we do not have ponds. So artificial ponds are manufactured, and in all these ponds, fishes are cultivated. Now, just my friends, imagine what nature has given us. We are not dearth of rivers. We do not have the dearth of the ponds and these water bodies. We have this natural ponds and water bodies. We do not have to do this all this. We need not spend even for manufacturing this artificial ponds, artificial this biofloc farming. But still, we are not able to do this. We are not able to harness it. Where is the problem? The problem lies somewhere with the system. The problem lies somewhere with us, with our attitude. We need to identify where is the problem. Herbal farming. Now in Corona, everybody is talking about increase your immunity, take immunity booster, use this, use that, everything. And Assam is a land which is full with this herbal product. Why are we not able to produce it and market it at a remunerative prices? Mushroom. Assam, entire northeast is so conducive for this mushroom farming. We are not able to do this. Organic farming. One of my friend, I can also name his. I can name him also. You can just identify. Professor G.V. Kesav Rao. He was a professor in Visvesvaraya Technological University, and now he left his job, and now he started organic farming. And he is doing organic farming. And I asked Professor Kesav Rao that what are actually doing in this organic and how much are you actually earning. So he said that I am cultivating a part of the land. What I am having right now, only 1/4 I am using for cultivating vegetables. I'm using exclusively organic product, organic manure. And I have identified 100 families in and around Bangalore city, because he is from Bangalore, in and around Bangalore, that who will be using only organic product, organic vegetables. And every day my boy used to deliver organic vegetables to their doorstep, and at the end of the month they used to pay me the bill. And every family's an average vegetable bill is from 2,500 rupees to 4,000 rupees. So suppose average it is 3,000 rupees, 3,000 multiplied by 100, it is 3 lakh rupees per month. Even 50% is the cost. So 1,50,000 only from 1/4 land which he is cultivating. Every month he is generating that much of the profit. And forget about other land, other products he is having. So this is how he's actually marketing his organic product. He told me that if a professor is doing organic farming, it must have certain premium. It should not be an ordinary product. So he is doing that. He said that a guar, which is normally sold into the market at 20 rupees per kg, and he is selling it for 150 rupees because of its quality, because of the brand associated with this product, that it is an organic product cultivated in the farm of Professor so and so. And that's for that he's getting a premium. Can we do that? We have enough opportunity for that, this organic farming. Now, if I have to give some suggestions for youths, what you can do. See, first thing is that what you can do, you have to identify problems around you, try to find solution to those problems. Automatically, that will be a business model, that will be an excellent entrepreneurial model for you. Now, if I have to name a few, just something, raw thoughts which are coming to my mind. Can we have online salons, that all the salons or the parlors are networked just like Ola or Uber, and we have to enter our data, and that system will have artificial intelligence which can identify our hairstyle, our pattern, if we have any disease, if we have any allergy. So that can also give me an automatic messages that you had your last haircut 1.5 months back. Now it is good, and now suppose you are in Shillong or you are in Silchar or in Guwahati or in Simla, so that can sense automatically that the weather is quite uh, uh, wonderful here in Simla, and you can have such and such salons around you which can offer you such and such services. Can we do that? Now, healthy food. Now, Zomato and Swiggy are providing providing this door-to-door delivery of foods. Can we start manufacturing, producing, and marketing some products of our own as healthy food? And Swiggy or Zomato are already there, which will take care of this delivery part. So that infrastructure is already there. Online learning, this is already there. We are having. Can we just make it more organized? Baiju is doing that. Some other applications, some other platforms are already doing. Can we do it? Our educated youths, can we start some online tutorials, online coaching classes? Some have already started, like just they made a video of their entire presentation, entire class, upload it in YouTube, and then based on the views, they are partnering with the YouTube and they're getting revenue with the YouTube just on the basis of revenue sharing agreement. So these are some of the probable solutions, but not exhaustive. These are just indicative only. Now, what is the road ahead? How to this inculcate the culture of entrepreneurship among the youths in our country in general, Assam in particular? We know that there are 4 factors of production. We have land, we have labor. So land and labor is there with each one of us, whether it is in Assam or UP or Haryana, Punjab or South India, Tamil Nadu, everywhere. This land is there with our people. Labor, sometimes either we ourselves are working as a labor, we can hire labor, our family members are the labor. We can have some capital also. But here we need to think, we need some capital. But again, my dear friends, remove this idea from your mind that India is a capital scarce country. On various platforms, I kept on telling that there is no dearth of capital in India. For example, just one public issue of any company is coming, and that public issue is oversubscribed to the tune of, on an average, 100 times. It means there is only one idea, and there are more than 100 times more number of people who are ready to invest capital. It means we need 99 more number of entrepreneurs to tap the potential which we have in our market, capital market. Because right now with the existing capital, we are able to fund only one company which is oversubscribed by 100 times. It means that 99% of the people's money will be returned to their account because they will not be able to buy shares. It means we need 99 more such number of entrepreneurs. So there is no dearth of capital. Forget about Swiss bank and all. But what makes the difference? The difference is organization part. We have land, we have labor, we have capital, but we do not have this organization or the another 4th factors of production, which is the entrepreneurship. And it actually makes the difference. Now, how to inculcate the habit of entrepreneurship among the youths? This should be the key question among the policymakers, among in front of all the government bodies, how to inculcate the habit of entrepreneurship so that our youths can organize this land, labor, and capital so well that it can create a wonderful business model. One solution is the nudging. So if I have to explain nudging with one slide, so this slide itself is sufficient to introduce or to explain what exactly is the nudging. So nudging in nutshell is incentivizing or the guiding people to for a particular activity. So we have to nudge people so that they can do a particular thing, and ultimately if we keep on telling people that you have to do this and yeah, this is a good thing and this is not so good thing or this is a bad thing, and ultimately a day will come that the people will start practicing that thing only. So Professor Richard Thaler have got Nobel Prize for this theory, nudge theory, in the year 2017 for his work on behavioral economics. So I remember when Dr. Rajesh Jaiswal called me for the first time, that Bhaval sir was, earlier Bhaval sir was also there as one of the panelists, but because of his not so good health, he has expressed his inability to be here amongst the panelists. So he has said that behavioral finance perspective of entrepreneurship. So this is also one way that this nudge theory is all about this behavioral finance and how nudging can help create entrepreneurs. So this is one way that we have to think how to nudge people, how to incentivize them, giving incentives, guiding people so that they can start uh, their own enterprises. Giving these packages in the form of this MSME package, which is announced by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is also one such form of nudging only. Exposure theory, we have to expose our people to the new environment, to the new technology, to the new developments, because many a times our people or any people, anyone, he or she cannot think beyond a particular level because that person is not exposed to the new technology or new developments or the new happenings in the market. So if we can expose, then many a things or miracles can happen. In Assam University, Silchar, there was a canteen, and the canteen owner, he was not cooking very good food. So the students, the teachers and staff, everybody was criticizing him that actually he is not cooking so good food. Now what is the way? Should he be removed? Then a few of the teachers said कि बिमल ने तो कभी अच्छा खाना खाया ही नहीं है, because he is not from a very well to do background. So बिमल ने कभी अच्छा खाना खाया ही नहीं, तो अच्छा खाना बनाएगा कैसे? So let us took Bimal to a good restaurant, serve him some good food, let him taste how a good food looks like, how a good food tastes like, and once he will be able to have the experience and have the exposure of that food, he will be able to do that. And some of our students did exactly the same. He took that boy to the restaurants, in a local restaurants. They made him to eat all those some good dosas and idlis and samosas. And what immediately Bimal said, sir, ऐसा तो मैं भी बना लूंगा. So बना रहे तो बनाओ. And from next day, the quality of his food, it improved drastically. So that is exposure theory. Sometimes we have to be creative, we have to be critical and enterprising out of compulsion. So we have started washing our hands. Those who are not doing it, we also started doing it because of
Hello, Singh sir. I think there is a network issue.
Sir, we are not hearing you, sir.
I think there is a network problem at the end of Singh sir.
compulsion. So sometimes if nothing is done out of compulsion only, but scooters and basically e-scooters only. Now the question is, and World Bank and all the international, the mindset, जब तक चलता चलने दो. So as everybody have introduced four-stroke technology, innovation. Hello.
Yes, sir. Sir, it was
Yes.
it was not audible. Now it is okay. Now it is okay.
Okay.
But a few minutes later, it was not audible.
Okay. Now this diagram, that how the investment in equity share, if a person is investing in equity share, that will reflect in that person's risk perception, that will lower his risk perception, and it will also affect the entrepreneurial success. So this is also one way of inculcating the culture of entrepreneurship among the youths, that make them to engage in some of the activities which will be risk taking, maybe that is in the form of buying equity shares, but you cannot force them to buy equity shares. So every student in a class can be asked to say contributes 100 rupees only, and if a class consists of 100 students, so 100 students multiplied by 100 rupees, it is 10,000 rupees, and at 10,000 rupees a student can manage in a group just like a mutual fund manager, and ultimately they will be knowing the art of managing risk, and this risk perception will be disseminated to them. They will be understanding, and ultimately somehow in the long run this will be reflecting in their entrepreneurial success. Another question is, another is incubation. So incubation, there are some schemes of the government like Atal Incubation Cell is there, which is funding this new startups to incubate. So incubation is there. Now who will incubate? Their universities, colleges and institutes, they can start their incubation cell, and as your college you can also apply in the Atal Incubation Cell, AIC. So you can apply for Atal Incubation Cell, and your college, as a college, you can get 10 crores of rupees to incubate new companies, new startups, and this will help some of your willing students who are willing to be entrepreneur, that you can give the seed money to those students out of that fund, and so that without any obligation to return it back to the college, so they can spend that money to build their new startups. So these universities, college and institutes can start their incubation using AIC is one. Then DST is also giving, Department of Ministry of Telecom and Information Technology is also having some schemes for this incubation cell. So as a college, you can think over it. As a suggestion, I can also say that this most of this MP MLA led funds, local area development funds, can we think of using these funds for incubation instead of wasting? A lot of monies are wasted here and there. Can a fraction of that money be used, given to our youths for to start incubate a new startup? That can be one thinking that we have to think of. Uh, but the question is how to make these incubations effective and efficient. So one way is the social audit. The society will interfere, society will have exercise control over this incubation cells, its monitoring, its progress and the funding and everything. And society will have a control over this incubation cell, and it can then have a control, and it will be effective and efficient. What to incubate? We have a lot of problems. This is a problem of this traffic jam. Can we find some solution to this traffic jam? Can we have some application which can give us an idea that where is the traffic and how is the traffic and how to find parking and something related to this to solve this problem? If we can solve this problem, this can be a money spinner for that person whosoever will be inventing that. Waste disposal, we already have this Swachh Bharat, Swasth Bharat, but in spite of having slogan, are we able to have some effective plan that so that how to dispose all this waste, how to effectively use this waste so that our waste is also disposed? It can bring revenue also for the entrepreneurs. Can we do that? Identify some local problems. My dear friends, if you want to start any new business, new entrepreneurship, new enterprise, just focus on the local problem. And I call it as a Ganesh Ji model. What was the Ganesh Ji model? Just a few days back, it was the Ganesh Chaturthi. So Ganesh Ji, why he is worshipped first? Because in order to be first, you did not to travel the whole universe. Just focus at the local level and you will be the winner. Have you heard the name of Shakira? Shakira is a performer, world famous dancer, but she is not performing on English dance. She is performing a very local folk song, but it is her dedication which is making her a global brand. About Shakira, it is all right. About our Indian brand, Sapna Chaudhary from Haryana. She is doing a very traditional Haryanvi dance, but it is her dedication which is making her a national brand. So focus on the local level. Your local problems will have a global solution, and it will have a global appeal. Most of my students, they ask me question like, why India is not as rich as USA? The answer is because India do not have entrepreneurs like USA have. India do not have entrepreneurs who can establish Google. India do not have entrepreneurs we can establish Microsoft or Walmart or Nestle. If India can have such entrepreneurs, definitely India will be also as rich as USA or any other European country. So entrepreneurship is the key to success for any nation. Just one information, like if we have to start a new enterprise, like first export item of USA, what was the first export item of USA? So it was the Hollywood. It was not any shoe, not textile, not steel, not a motor car. It was the Hollywood, and through Hollywood they marketed their culture so well that their product, their culture was having an international appeal, and whatever is being manufactured in USA, that is sold out throughout the world, and that make USA a global brand, a global leader. So can we also market our culture? We have a lot of things to market: our spirituality, our culture, our songs, our folk song, our diversity. So many things we have that we can culture market, and if we are able to do that, India definitely can be a superpower. Only thing is that we need to identify our strength. This is a photograph of Hanumanji, because when Lord Hanuman, he was not able to recognize, he was not able to identify his own powers, and always it was someone else like Jamavanta to remind him that how much power this Hanuman had within him, so that he can cross even the ocean. So, my dear students, friends, you all are having Hanuman and you are suffering from this Hanuman effect. You do not know how much power you do have. You, each one of you are having. It is only that you need to identify your own strength. And if you are able to identify your own strength, nothing can stop you from flying like Hanuman. Thank you very much. Thanks for your patience listening. Any question?
Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful and enlightening session. Actually, there are a lot of questions from our participants, but we would like to have this discussion at the end of the webinar.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, yes, sir. Now we would like to move towards the next session. We will have a brief introduction of our resource person for the second session, new opportunities for entrepreneurs in the new normal. Our honorable speaker for the second session is Dr. Gaur Gopal Banik, sir. Sir is the Associate Professor, Department of Accountancy, Guwahati Commerce College, Guwahati, Assam. Sir is engaged with research areas including accountancy, management, finance, entrepreneurship, business ethics, spiritualism, tourism, etc. Sir has supervised a number of good research projects and authored a large number of research papers, articles in newspapers, and presented in various national and international conferences. Sir has delivered talks in a large number of training programs, talk shows, seminars, and webinars across the country. Sir is passionate about music, yoga, and fitness. And it's noteworthy to say that Sir has participated and won a number of prizes in district, state, national, and international level bodybuilding competitions. Thank you so much, sir, for being a part of this webinar. Now, I would like to request Dr. Banik, sir, to take over the second session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. I just let me start my slide. Is it visible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Just 30-second time. Okay. Most respected principal, sir. I'm audible?
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Rinki, I'm
Yes,
audible?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Perfectly
Thank
all
you
right.
very much. Most respected principal, sir. Respected Jibon Jyoti Shoikia, sir. Respected Dr. Rajesh Jaiswal, Dr. Rinki Dash, and most respected previous speaker, Dr. Ranjit Singh, sir. Actually, at the very beginning, in the welcome address, principal sir said that these are not the days of well-defined career. These days have come that we have to go for entrepreneurship. He started that way. So now, let me just go quickly. Actually, with me, there are 3 GCCs. I studied in Guru Charan College, that is GCC. I am working in Guwahati Commerce College, that is GCC. And I have been invited to talk in Golaghat Commerce College, that is also GCC. And this webinar is organized by Department of Commerce and Department of Human Resource Management. I have to talk 30 seconds between about these 2 departments in connection with my lecture. See, whenever I talk of commerce, this thing comes to me. Department of Commerce, please listen. Commerce has traveled from camel to email. That's the most important thing. In one sentence, I can define what from the centuries back what commerce was and what it is today. Commerce has traveled from camel to email. That will form my presentation also. And then I have to say something about the Department of Human Resource Management. Let me tell you what is management. Don't mind the teachers of management and students. As if I am going to give the first time definition. You're always teaching and know what is management. Let me define what is management. Management means getting things done by others. Management means that others means other people, other money, machine, material, all these things is management. But the thing is that it is very, very tough. Management is a very, very tough thing. So to reduce the burden, you do one thing, you cut off one part, you cut off T. You're getting manage man. So cut off T. And there is a more difficult thing to manage man. So you cut off one more letter and you're getting manage me. Dear friends, this is the most difficult thing in the world, manage me. If we can manage myself, if you can manage yourself, there won't be any problem in the world. So we have to know manage me. And that is going to relate my whole topic today that I'm going to present. And how can we manage me? How can it be done? I believe these 4 things are basic factors of manage me or managing himself or herself. First point is physical development, sharirik bikash. Second, without physical development, nothing can be done. No study, no entrepreneurship, and nothing else. Nothing can be done. And second is mental development. Without manashik bikash, nothing can be done in this world. You have to develop your mind also. Be it entrepreneur, be it teacher, be student, be businessman, be official, be anyone. And intellectual development. Without bodhik bikash, nothing can be done. You have to have your intellectual upliftment. And the last is spiritual development. Without adhyatmic bikash, nothing can be done. All these things are minimum factors of making a person a good student, good teacher, good businessman, and also good entrepreneur. Just have a look here, just keep on thinking which picture it might be. I'll be telling you after some time which is this. But before that, I want to ask you one question, which is true here. I asked different students in different group, which is correct. Number 1 option is future is uncertain. And number 2 is future is certain. Which is correct? Most of you will definitely say future is uncertain. Chota se sikh ke rao ki future uncertain. But dear friends, according to me, what I am just going to prove also, future is absolutely certain. Future is not uncertain. Future is absolutely certain to happen. Today is 26th. It is sure that 30 August is coming. It is sure that 2025 is coming. 100% sure that 2050 is also coming. But what will happen in future is uncertain. That is the thing. Had future been uncertain, there would have been no problem. There would have been no necessity of planning or managing or dreaming anything. So future is very much certain to happen, but what will happen in future is uncertain. So my topic is new opportunities for entrepreneurs in the new normal. But the question is, what is entrepreneur? Some people pronounce it like entrepreneur. I also pronounce entrepreneur. Some people pronounce it entrepreneur. I was thinking which is correct and which is wrong. Just at this juncture, just you cannot reply me, but I'm asking a question. Which is the most oldest, I mean, oldest language in the world? Definitely all of you will say Sanskrit, because from Sanskrit, French and Latin, others have also come. So in Sanskrit, there is two things you see. In Sanskrit, there is a word, anta prerana. Anta prerana. You pronounce it 5-6 times, entrepreneur, entrepreneur. And entrepreneur is a French word. And when you say entrepreneur in Sanskrit is coming entrepreneur. So it is a root of the word which I have found here. And there is one more thing, dear friends. In English, there is a proverb, where there is a will, there is a way. Or we always accept it and we go by this. But in our Upanishad, we have found that our forefathers have gone much beyond this concept of where there is way, there is will, there is a way. Here, only will and way are most important thing for successful. But it is not true that only will and way will help us. We need one more thing, that is effort. And effort is the entrepreneurship. So success is will plus way plus effort. Where there is a will, there is a way is not sufficient. You put effort also, and that effort. So in Sanskrit, in Upanishad, it is written, Uddamene hi siddhanti karyani no manorathai, no hi suptasya singhasya pravishyanti mukhe mriga. You need uddam, you need entrepreneurship. So ultimately Upanishad is saying about entrepreneurship, because with will only, with monorathai, only with monorathai, you cannot do anything. You need force also. So a sleeping lion can never catch a prey, we know, and this is defined by our Upanishad. So the ultimate formula of success given by Upanishad, will plus way plus effort plus a fourth thing has to be there, ethics. Many companies have been started and they followed unethical means, and they have been collapsed ultimately. You will find that in the UK ethics institution, the motto is doing business ethically makes for better business. And entrepreneur actually means self-motivation, as the other speaker also said, self-confidence, time management, ethics, etc. must be there. So ultimately, success equal to will plus way plus effort plus ethics. So this is defined by, sorry, it is going back. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, sir.
Yes,
sorry
sir.
to interrupt, sir. Sir, actually the slides are not showing.
Slides are not showing?
Yes, sir. Actually, I thought you will click on that portion a bit later. That's why I have not informed you earlier. But now it is in the screen. It is just showing that Golaghat Commerce College PPT, but the slides are not coming.
So what to do here?
Sir, I think you can
you minimize this window.
Stop sharing
Sir,
and do again.
the PPT
Stop
window.
sharing, do again.
No, sir, no need to stop share. So no need to stop share. So just click on the minimize button in the share screen option.
I'm not getting the minimum one.
This PPT.
Yeah.
So minimize option will be there. Sir, in the screen, it's now showing Golaghat Commerce College PPT.
I think it would be better stop sharing, do again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I start again.
Okay, sir.
Now I share. Coming? Now coming?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It has
Perfectly?
Yes, sir, it's,
Perfectly?
it's coming now.
What
Yes,
is
sir.
there? Tell me.
Sir, you can maximize the screen. I mean, maximize the slides.
Now it's showing just next.
Now it is coming?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you
Yes,
see my
sir, it is.
screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I am just fast forwarding. Just these things I am not repeating because this question of time. So
Okay, sir.
You have seen these things. You have seen.
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you see Entrepreneurship?
Yeah, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I couldn't understand from here. Thank you, Dr. Rinkidash. So entrepreneur, I tell, it was written in Sanskrit long thousands of back. Entrepreneur. I said that where there is a will, there is a way. This is actually defeated by our Upanishad, because simply will and way won't give you the ultimate success. You need effort also. And that effort part is entrepreneurship. That is written in our Upanishad, Uddamani Siddhanti Karyani no Monorathai. Monorath means will. With only monorathai, you cannot do the thing, get the work done. You need uddam, because a sleeping lion can never catch the prey. That you know. So here I want to quote Ralph Waldo Emerson. In 1841, he said, and it's equally true today also. The other speaker also said about why entrepreneurship is not coming in Assam, having so much of natural resources and abundance of other resources. So see what Emerson said in 1841. Just I'm reading out. If our young men miscarry in their first enterprise, they lose all heart. If the young merchant fails, men may say he is ruined. If the finest genius studies at one of our colleges and is not installed in any office within 1 year, afterwards in the cities or suburbs of Boston or New York City, it seems to his friends and to himself that he is right in being disheartened and in complaining the rest of his life. This is happening even today, dear friends. If you are failing in one event, means you feel that your life is gone. So he said, Emerson is a very big philosopher of America, USA. He said this, he commented this way. And the most important brand name of India, which is spread all over the world, is it is written in Hitopadesha, Ayam Nijo Parabeti Ganana Logu Chetasham, Udara Chetananang to Bosudhaiba Kutumbakam. This is the message of India. This is our own people. That is not our own people. They are our apna admi. Ye apna admi nahi hai. This is the feelings of mean-minded people. But those who are wide-minded people, for them whole world is their own. So this message is just flowing and circulating all over the world since centuries. And that is our here why I'm bringing these things for the young entrepreneurs or prospective entrepreneurs, because now the whole world is looking at India. They believe India, they love India. And why I gave this picture at the beginning, I'm telling you, there is a story. This is the
and the world around me. And
hello?
I also learned that I have to change, and I have to keep changing myself.
Hello? Hello, Rinki, any problem?
It's okay. No problem.
No, sir, it's okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir. No,
This
sir.
is the residence of the president of South Korea. Why I'm telling you why. I went there in 2019 June, and this is my friends from Japan. There I met, and this is the place where I competed in Mr. Universe. And why I'm showing this, not because of showing anything on my credit or something, but there is a reason why I'm showing this. Here I met different people of different countries like USA, Australia, and Thailand and Italy. And I asked them, everyone, my fellow participants, which country you are coming from. They say someone from Africa, someone from USA, like that. And when they asked me which country you are coming from, you know, dear friends, I said, I am from India. Each and every one told me India is a great country. We love India. We want to visit India. So this is the thing I have seen with my heart, with my own eyes, what people are feeling about India. Why I'm bringing it? Because the scope for entrepreneurship is not limited to Assam or India or Asia, but over the whole globe. This is a picture, seems to be Corona. This is Corona. But dear friends, you see, this is actually a flower bouquet. Below, Corona is a part of the society only. But beyond Corona, a lot of things are there. And Corona is not first pandemic in this world. There are a lot more pandemics where they are in this world. And we have suffered from this, all these pandemics. And now it is COVID-19. It's a new normal like this. And the question is whether new normal is really normal. That is a question. Everybody is using the term new normal. All over the world, people are using new normal. But my question, is it really normal? the World Economic Forum COVID Action Platform, they say there is nothing new about new normal. If it is normal, it means we have settled down, but we have not settled down. That may be something new, but it cannot be normal. So the thing is that we have to deal with this pandemic, this turbulence. There's turbulence. This normal, new normal is a concept for only certain group of people, on certain people only. All over the world, more than 100 million people are still homeless. How can they stay back at home? I am not feeding your mind with negativities, but I believe that what is exactly going on in the world, and from that point of view, we shall get our scope for entrepreneurship. Surrounded by the uncertainty, it's not normal. It's very much stay-at-home order is not observed by more than 100 million people homeless over the world. So new normal, there's a question. It may be new paradigm shift. It may be new norms. But how can it be normal? I am having some doubt. I myself is confused here, because there's a war between coronavirus and hunger virus. There's a difference. There's a quarrel between which is more dangerous. So let us call it a new paradigm shift only. New paradigm, not new normal. And what is happening is new paradigm shift at present. If we know these points, only then we can find out our scope and opportunity, where it is lying in entrepreneurship. Deglobalization. In 92, we had LPG, liberalization, privatization, globalization. Now we are going for deglobalization, relocalization, regionalization, disturbed supply chain, demand supply mismatched. Demand is killed in various sectors. Demand in healthcare is soaring up. But the question is, dear friends, how many of you want that this sector should soar up? If this sector soaring up, of course, giving a treatment. But the thing is that let us pray that this sector does not grow up, and let us pray that we don't need much and more taking shelter in the hospital. And factors of production, land, labor, capital organization are dissettled. These vulnerabilities over all the cross-border supply is exposed. US-China is strained relation. Multinational institutions are weakened. Vacuum global leadership. So in this manufacturing coming closer to home market, and the other speaker also said agricultural supply chain issues which have been shortages plus accelerating the local and vertical farms which are more resilient. Labor has fallen sharply. So these are the challenges. These are the very challenges. But the thing is that I have put you some challenges here put forward. Every challenge bears opportunity in Zoom. Every negativity bears positivity. Every impossibility bears possibility. Every problem bears solution. Every ashanti, peacelessness, bears shanti in itself. So what to do at this juncture? Kya karna hai? Reimagine. Imagine the unthinkable. Dare to dream beyond your limits. Think big, but start small. Global, local. Global, vocal, local. Challenge your limitations. Energize your power of innovations. Vivekananda said, we should not lower our aims to the level of our abilities, but we should elevate our abilities to the height of our aims. So turbulence inspires innovation. Necessity inspires invention. You can make a list of new things that have come up during coronavirus. This period, the other speaker was saying about a lot of examples are gave. Let us call a spoon, a spade a spade. Let us capitalize this turbulence. So what to do? See the opportunities. When face-to-face teaching is not possible, go for online teaching. When you feel social distance is essential, go for online shopping. When you see seminar is not possible, go for webinar. When you see MNCs are not working, go for local. When you find human intelligence is inadequate, go for artificial intelligence, and every point there is opportunity. And these are the sectors which are coming up for new opportunities, as other speakers also said here. And these are the factors, mostly techno entrepreneurs are actually ruling the world. Now they are giving lots of opportunities. In Assam also lots of people, students, they are acquainted with techno entrepreneurship, and online education is going on in this different UPSC, IIT, CAT, and also music planning and different other things. This is a question of reskill and upskill. There are lots of scope for entrepreneurship. And regarding the, see, now gyms are closed, yoga centers are closed. We can go for online yoga classes, online health tech. Even schools are have come to online. Techno companies can have high quality products for school. Investors are recommended to look at the existing startups and invest in those that are potential. And government is targeting high growth startups in every country. Government has come up to help. In United Kingdom, government has come up with 1.25 billion rescue package to help the startups and emphasizing the farm-giving innovations. In India also it is done, because in India we have got Atmanirbhar Bharat, and Atmanirbhar Bharat is helping the MSMEs. Another opportunity is in agri-business. Agri-business is coming up, and from these concepts will come at agri-innovations, agri-entrepreneurship, agri-technology. These things are coming up as new opportunities. You need not have a lot of money for these things, but you should have ideas. Agri-tech startups are there. Then transport constraints, farmers are in trouble, transport constraints. And from the trouble, you find your opportunities. Deeply hurting the farmers in India, these points, you can find opportunities here, what you can do your part. And in agriculture also, there is digitization. We can have this digitization as entrepreneurial opportunities. Now we are finding e-mandis. E-mandis are there. And grapes are selling in Satara district of Maharashtra. They are getting rotten. But now through the apps, these are being sold in Ludhiana, Jaipur, and Kota. Same thing can be done from Assam and to Assam. See how technology, artificial intelligence, and machine learning is helped in agriculture also. And this AgriCS lab, they are doing a lot of things in different cities, different states they are doing in agriculture level. And now see how entrepreneur comes. Imagine a day when there was no spectacles, no specs. Now I'm wearing specs. Imagine a day when there was no spectacles and a person was crossing the road. One person helped him crossing the road, and another person helped him and taking to his home. And he also started thinking how this problem can be solved. And he started thinking, and let us imagine, he started thinking and innovating. Ultimately, spectacles were invented one day. See, this way spectacles invented. So solutions come from problems. Lot of problems have come during this turbulence, and we can find new entrepreneurial scopes. Looking at the cow, you might think there should be the Lord Krishna floating his pipe, flute, and you can think of this thing also, dairy farming. So this way, looking at the apple falling, Newton found that law of gravitation, and you or me can find falling apple and you can eat the apple. And there may be some people who will think so many apples are being fallen and getting rotten, and they can go for cold storage, and they can go for fruits processing also. Here, this is actually entrepreneur. Actually, in Assamese folk song, there is a line. I want to just tell you that what is that line. It's like that. This boat is there. You see boat. That is similarly like entrepreneur. Lot of stormy ocean. In Assamese folk song, there's like that. Hero naoria kai melide tulungana botha khon neribi nao dhoe kubaleo botha khon neribi nao dhoe kubaleo buru buru korileo na naoria. So this is a song in Assamese folk song someone wrote. He said, "Oh, the boatmen, you start your boat rowing and never give up the boat, even if the boat starts sinking." This is the entrepreneurship spirit. In entrepreneurship, there is lots of problem may come, but you are having enough power within. You can do each and everything. Don't stop, because in Lord Krishna also said, "Karmani vadi karastu ma phaleshu kadachano ma karma phalo hetu dur mate sangusta karmani." Means you have right to work. You don't have right to result. Result may be good, may be bad. Give it to me. If the result is good, if you think it is your own result, you shall get ego. If the result is bad, if you think it is your own result, you will get depression. Both ego and depression will destroy you. Lord Krishna said, you go on working and working, give the result to me. This is the force. This is the force, and with this we shall go on. In the cinema 3 Idiot, a beautiful line is there. This is entrepreneurial. हमको तो राहें थी चलाती, वो खुद अपना राह बनाता, गिरता संभलता मस्ती में चलता था वो, ऐसे एक गाना था. So हमको तो राहें थी चलाती means ऐसे हम लोग सोचता है कि we shall do now commerce high student, then BCom, then MCom, then PhD, becoming a teacher, and then do PhD and retirement and pension and then all. This road is already set. Make some new route. हमको तो राहें थी चलाती, वो खुद अपना राह बनाता है. That is entrepreneurship. अपना राह बनाता है. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged is punishment, the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. From COVID, I find one particular point. COVID is not a torturer, it's a teacher. Let us acronymize like this. C means connect, O means over the, B means virtually established, I means infrastructure, do your work. So COVID for me means connect over the virtually established infrastructure to do your work. And you see in all presentations during this period regarding this type of entrepreneurship, what it may be, this connecting is the most important thing. Entrepreneurs use this COVID-19 opportunity because new things are going to come here. Now let me go for how we can take the benefit and what government is doing for us. Actually, MSMEs were in India since 2006 only, and we are also now going to become some of our entrepreneurs and all, but without getting registered by in MSME, dear friends, you will not get most of the benefits the government is giving. Lots of benefits government is giving these days for MSMEs. And big industries, it is proved, big industries may not help a nation at all time, but small industries are always there. MSMEs are heartbeats of India. This has entered our culture, handicraft culture, bamboo culture, weaving culture, muga culture, bell metal culture. This culture is there. And we are having lots of abundance of natural resources. So we should go for MSME and get ourselves registered through MSME ministry. And they are saying our small hands to make you large. See, overall the MSME, this is 2 years back statistics, micro, medium and small scale industries, dear friends, 99.9% are micro. These are most important. They are playing great role in our country. And this micro industry is suffering, MSME is suffering from finance, mostly from finance. You see, 36.7 trillion we need for financing MSME, but we can collect only 10.9 trillion from SCBs, NBFCs and other banks. And still there is finance crunch. MSMEs do not have lot of NPS. Big industries have lot of non-performing assets. And let us go a bit quickly. MSMEs is so less that per MSME at least 1 or 2 people are employed. And 99.9% of the MSMEs are in micro category. And these MSMEs, 66% belongs to this statistics is there, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backwards. And most of the 60% of the MSMEs, see in this stage, where is Assam? Where is any state of Northeast region? There is no one. Maybe in Northeast and Assam, some micro industries are there, small businesses are there. But the thing is that they are not in record. That's why government cannot help him. In Atmanirbhar Bharat, government has come up with lots of financial benefit for MSMEs. But the thing is that most of the MSMEs are not registered anywhere. Even GST is having some threshold. Beyond this threshold, you have to register yourself. But within this threshold, you need not register. Most of the MSMEs are very micro, so they are not registered even in GST. They're untraceable. But this untraceable smallness is having two sides. Good side is that they don't have to do any formal network. They don't have to pay tax. They don't have to maintain accounts. But the bad thing is that when they are in trouble, government cannot help them. So it is suggested that MSMEs should be registered. Otherwise, they will not get the benefits. And COVID-19 has made the MSMEs most vulnerable, aggravated, because MSMEs are suffering since beginning only. But latest COVID-19 has given them most problem, and only 7% of the MSMEs in a survey say that they can survive within next 3 months. This is the position they are having. RBI also is trying to help the MSMEs, but they are not traceable. Government is giving credit guarantee, but MSMEs are not traceable mostly. Anatomy of MSME is too much vulnerable. MSMEs are two parts, manufacturing and service sector. And what government has done recently, government has changed the definition of MSME. It was given in 2006 Act something, but that definition was a bit difficult. That definition was a bit, defective. But in Atmanirbhar Bharat, which was announced on 13th of May 2020 by Government of India, there the definition of MSME has been changed. The definition now covers most of the MSMEs. The upward limit has been raised. MSME determined by investment in plant and machinery, but now turnover has also been included there. And now why the definition is changed? Definition is changed just to give the MSMEs financial benefit. And these are the changes in definition. Because time is short, I'm not going in every line. And the old definition, new definition. In old definition, MSMEs are two parts, manufacturing and service. And now manufacturing service have been clubbed together and made one group to give more benefit to the MSMEs. And now the latest definition I'm telling, it is from 1st of July 2020. This latest definition is there. The up to 1 crore investment and up to 5 crore turnover, this is micro. Up to 10 crore machinery investment, up to 50 crore turnover, it is small. Up to 50 crore investment, up to 250 crore turnover, it is medium. These limits were much below earlier. So why it is changed? Minister Sitaraman ji said out of fear, because MSME were thinking if they grow, then they will not get benefit. Just I giving you an example. A 10 years child is there. He expects chocolate from you, but he is fearing if he reaches the age of 20 or 18, you will not give him chocolate. So he wants to remain as 10 years only whole life. This is the MSME case. They want to remain within the limit so as to get more and more benefits. The out of fear, they are not growing. Now this block is shifted, and in Atmanirbhar Bharat, MSME has been changed. Actually, in Atmanirbhar Bharat, one question is there. If you want to become Atmanirbhar Bharat, can we become Atmanirbhar if each of us do not become Atmanirbhar? So each of us have to be Atmanirbhar, as I said, physical development, mental development, intellectual development, spiritual development. This will make each of us Atmanirbhar. And this is the shape of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Here 20 lakh crores have been sanctioned for Atmanirbhar Bharat in 5 pillars. Pillar 1 is economic quantum jump, not incremental changes. Number 2, infrastructure, one that represents modern India. Next, system, technology. Then demography, vibrant demography. And then demand supply. So all these things I covered earlier. These things have been put in Atmanirbhar Bharat. And this 20 lakh crores is 10% of GDP of India. So this Atmanirbhar Bharat is definitely going to help our MSME also, because this out of this 20 lakh, 3 lakh crores belongs to only and only for MSME. So see, like other countries, our country also, our minister, our government also helping the MSMEs. Our government is helping the MSMEs, the small industry, this way. But unless it is registered, government also cannot help. Almost 30% of the national GDP comes from MSME. 45% of the total manufacturing output comes from MSME. See MSME how much important. And for our migrant laborers, for our unemployed youths, for our anybody who is educated but unemployed cannot do anything, the MSME is the option. They can go for entrepreneurship, that is good, but they should go for registered way through MSME. That would give them better benefits. How Atmanirbhar Bharat is helping? By giving credit guarantee of 3 lakh crores, then subordinate debt to the MSMEs, to stressed MSMEs which are having lot of NPS. Government is helping them. For that purpose, government has kept aside 20 lakh crores to help these 2 lakh MSMEs, 20 lakh crores they've kept aside to help them. So government during this COVID, actually why I'm setting these examples and bringing these government projects and schemes, because these are the opportunities. These are actually in this 40 minutes lecture, everything cannot be possible. But I expect that our students and entrepreneurs will go by these things in Google. It's available, the source of information, and study these things and find out that there are lots of opportunities with which simply having the natural resources, simply having the willpower to do may not be enough. We need money, we need finance also, we need help also from the government, and government has started giving it. And simply government help may not do, your help, government help will help. Fund of fund, 50 crores have been kept for those MSMEs which are potential and viability. For them, there's a concept fund of fund. Then MSME has clear dues. There's a most important point you see, it's a shameful point that MSMEs are small industries, and they have given credit to many people, including the government. And many people, the debtors, customers of MSME, including the government, are not giving them the money back. That's a problem. And they are suffering. And they cannot go to the court also. How can they go to court against Mukesh Ambani or very someone big? So, and even government is not giving them money back. So in Atmanirbhar Bharat, there is a scheme, clearing of the dues. As on 1st March 2020, total outstanding payment to MSME units were estimated 4.95 crores, and half of this belongs to government. Government was not giving the money back. That is also a very big problem. It's shameful also. Anyway, but now government is making a rule that this money must be immediately, their money should go to their pocket. And in Atmanirbhar Bharat, there's one more point. Those who teach accountancy, they will know that Companies Act has been amended in 2013 Act is amended in 2018 also. And in the balance sheet, you have to give now one particular point, trade credit, trade debtors. Every company, every big company has to show how much money is payable to the MSMEs and how much money is not paid. All these things they have to show in the balance sheet. So government has made it, Companies Act, ministry has done it to help the MSMEs, just to help the MSMEs. And as Modi sir said, our self-reliance is not self-centric. Our self-reliance is all-inclusive, helping the world. Self-reliance, not self-centric. So Modi sir said, vocal, you have heard is that you have to be vocal about your local. Ultimately, one day it will be global. As I said, think big, start small. Don't project, don't invest too much money in big industries during this turbulence, corona turbulence. I'm saying it not normal, turbulence. Don't think of investing too much immediately. Just wait. But you can start to small and in your own area. And this is not a slogan for India only. All over the world, the same slogan is there, because the social distancing, the stoppage of flight and passenger and international trade is common every country. And Government of India has taken 2 phases here in for Atmanirbhar Bharat for MSME. Phase 1, it will consider sectors like medical, textile, electronic, plastic, toys, etc. in the phase 1. And phase 2, they are taking gems, jewelry, pharma, and steel. So these 2 phases of industries will be helped by Atmanirbhar Bharat in the form of MSME. Atmanirbhar Bharat is having 5 pillars. I've already shown that. See, these are actually covering, our whole lecture is covering. Economy should have quantum jump. We have to jump because it is from abnormal to come to normal. And infrastructure should be developed. System, most important thing is system, technology. Then population, demography, vibrant, and demand supply. There is demand, no supply, but there is supply, no demand. How can you connect? You can produce, you can get laborers also. Suppose you're producing lots of goods, you are not able to sell. Who will purchase? The social distancing is there. So go for online shopping and other things. So main SRI, self-reliant India, the main thing is that making India, manufacturing in India. These are the main things. And we have to live with Corona, don't know how much, how many days. If you ask me how long we have to wait, I'll say, don't ask me, ask Corona. When virus will come, only then you will go. We don't know. It's not a pessimistic attitude, but it's a real fact, turbulence. But I suggest that all the entrepreneurs should get themselves registered, because without registration, they cannot get any benefit. Without registration, no benefit is possible. And registration is not very tough also. Businesses get covered under central and state schemes if it is registered. These are the benefits. If you are registered, you will get a lot of benefits from central government and state government. And industry owners get better awareness about the new schemes. There will be a connectivity between the government and the industries, I mean small industries. Some of the standard benefits include easier access to bank loans, subsidies, if you can register yourself, eligibility to apply for various government benefits, and viability in various laws. And MSME Act is giving this form, I mean, system how it can be registered. It's very simple. You have to go for online registration. If you cannot do it yourself, go for some agencies. And if everything is all right, average time taken to register anywhere in the country takes between 15 to 20 days only for registration. And after registration, you can go on very easily, you can go ahead. If you cannot get yourself registered yourself, go for professional agencies for registration. And these are the benefits you shall get. Collateral free loan. If you are getting registered yourself, you're getting this thing. Protection against delayed payments. I'm just summing up. Protection against delayed payments. Protection against delayed payments, I said about companies that 2013 has been amended. In the balance sheet, big companies have to show how much money is payable to micro and small industries and how much money payable to others. This is specifically given importance in companies of 2013, amended in 2018, October 11. And credit link of subsidy, capital subsidy, you can go for under this scheme, new technologies provided to business owners to replace their old and obsolete technology. So many opportunities are given by the government. You have to take it also. Simply not thinking we are having a lot of natural resources, we are good, we are educated, and we have to do it. No, government is helping, government has to help, and government is helping, but you have to know, you have to apply for these things. The previous speaker also said about incubation. There is a scheme in the Atmanirbhar Bharat to help the people who come with new ideas. This scheme helps the innovators with implementation of new ideas and products, because the most important thing, you come up with new ideas, innovation, and innovation is the most important thing. Bank interest. There's also one rate of interest are lower for registered ones. See, this is also a benefit. Entrepreneurs should know these things. Without learning these things, they cannot become good entrepreneurs. Emergency credit loan is also available. Emergency credit loan. Global, there's a most important point I have to mention here, that the global tenders that go out of India from India, if the tender amount is less than 200 crores, now this cannot go outside the country. This will remain in India only. If the contract is below 200 crores, this tender will be enjoyed by Indian entrepreneurs only. It cannot go to foreign countries. This is a very important point introduced in Atmanirbhar Bharat. I believe it very, very important point for entrepreneurs. And how to become entrepreneurs? As I told you, by registration, you need an Aadhaar card only. Aadhaar card is compulsory for registration. And I've come to the end. I'm not going in details of this. There's some agreement of Paris agreement, overall international agreement is there. How industry can be started in any place. How industry can be started in any place, keeping the global warming point in mind. So I'm not going in details to this right now. So with this, I have come to the end of my presentation, because I was given 14 minutes time. I think I have not taken more than that. So if any question, I'm ready for that. And thank you very much. What I want to say that we are going just 1 minute, just only 1 minute. I want to talk. We are going through a turbulence. This is not normal. Of course, it is new. We can say it is a new norm. We can say new turbulence. We can say new paradigm shift. And in this new paradigm shift, a lot of adversities are there. But adversities are source of birth of new things, new technology, new innovation. And at the same time, we need some government support. Government is giving it through Atmanirbhar Bharat. And we have to get ourselves registered in MSME. Then we shall get better benefit. So thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an enlightening and informative session. Now we are going to have our discussion. Now I would like to request our coordinator and Associate Professor and HOD of Commerce Department, Rajesh Jaiswal sir, to took over the moderating session. It's over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Rinki Das. So, after having a nice deliberation from both the resource person, uh, firstly, Ranjit sir have started most of the things, and we have got the very new dimensions in entrepreneurship. He started how, or he give us a new dimension and new relationship from Gita, Natraj, Tandav, and all these things, how it can be interrelated with entrepreneurship. Very nice, sir. Very nice to have this. You have described the positive side of also Corona, because most of the time, last since 5-6 months, we have only discussing the negative sides of Corona. So thank you, sir, for enlightening us. And Banik sir also have given some spiritual angle also to us, which we have come first time, uh, how Corona is giving, or how Corona, we can fight Corona with some spirituality, or how we can fight it mentally, physically, and all those things. So thank you, sir. So we have got lots of questions, observation from participants, some of the question and observation from faculty members also. So we are very sorry that we cannot take all the questions, but we are going to take some selective questions. So my first question is for Ranjit Singh sir. So this question is from one of the student friend. The question is, the micro entrepreneurs are mostly face the labor problem due to COVID-19, and it impacts their production system. Now, what are the suggestions for growing their business unit? That means he asks to know that how we can overcome from this labor problem in this era.
Thank you. See, this problem will be this time. Sometimes it is in the form of labor, sometimes it is in the form of capital. So this is actually all about this entrepreneurship, that you have to think something. If there is a labor problem, you have to think some other way, maybe some technology. You have to think of technology, or pooling of resources, or outsourcing can be one option. So and this is all actually, there cannot be a, one answer to a problem. It is very much because now you are saying that your some of the enterprises are facing labor problem, but here in eastern UP and Bihar, Odisha, Jharkhand, it is reverse thing happening, because nowadays most of the farmers, they are happy that the workers who are working in the Delhi or Mumbai or Hyderabad, now they are coming back to their villages. Now there is abundance of labor. So this is actually, I will just say, this is all about this entrepreneurship. You have to manage it. If labors are not there, then you have to invest more capital. You have to think of capital. You have to go for the intensive industries, so that this labor can be avoided. And if labor is, technology is, or capital is a scarce commodity, then you have to go for the labor intensive industries. So you have to make a balance between this labor and capital.
So thank you.
Voice not coming.
Hello, thank you, sir. Next
Yes.
question is also from some student from Guwahati, Sandeep Roy. He wants to start his own business after graduation, and he have some capital problem. He don't have capital. Now he seek your advice that how he can start his business.
See, if you have capital problem, first thing is you have the will to go for your own business. Definitely, you should go for it. But how much capital do you have? Then explore your friends, your family members, your relatives, and after that, there are a lot of people, there are a lot of institutions are there to fund you, provided you should have good project report. because any bank or any financial institutions will be funding only based on a sound project report only. Simply blaming the financial institutions that the bank managers are not funding your project and so and so forth, this is not going to help. You should have a very good project report, very viable project report. You should be able to convince the financiers that this is really a project that you are going to do, and your money is safe. Then there, I think money will not be a problem. Whether you can approach any bank, commercial bank, or you can go for this any industrial bank, development bank, money will be there. You will be getting money. Only thing is that you should have very sound business proposal, sound business plan. So develop a business plan, and how to make a business plan, that you can consult some of the experts in that area. They will be helping you, and based on that you can approach to some of the banks, some of the financial institutions, and definitely you will be getting money.
Thank you, sir. The next question is also from student, and I think it's an interesting question. So he shows that there is a possibility in entrepreneurial development in Assam or Northeast in relation with tourism industry. And now he wants, so how being a new entrepreneur, first generation entrepreneur, he can start a new venture which is related to tourism industry in Northeast or Assam.
See, so the first problem is that bracketing this entire this 7+1 states as Northeast. Here, people sitting in Delhi or Uttar Pradesh or South India, they think that entire Northeast is one entity. But the fact is that a person from Upper Assam don't want to go to Barak Valley, and a person from Nagaland do not want to visit Meghalaya or Mizoram or Arunachal. There's so much of the diversity. So first thing, if you want to grow tourism in Assam or in the Northeast, that the domestic tourism, that will be, you should tap domestic tourist. Forget about this national tourist or international tourist. How much of the domestic tourists are actually going to spend some leisure time in and around your localities? A person from Golaghat, how many of you have visited Majuli? And a person from Jorhat, how many of you have visited like a place like Dibrugarh or Tinsukia or the tea gardens of Jorhat and Dibrugarh? So you should start thinking how to attract the domestic tourist. And as I told you at the very beginning, that I call it as the Ganeshji model. Think about the local problems. Focus on the local problems, then that solution will have a global appeal. That's called what Lord Ganesha has done, that focus at the grassroots, focus at the local level. So target the domestic tourist. Definitely you will be able to harness in the long run national and international tourists only. Because if your own people do not have faith and trust in your own resources, then nobody else is going to come to Assam and build your resources and work for you. You should focus on your own resources only first. Hope I'm able to clarify his doubt.
Thank you, sir. Next, many questions are there relating to this. So I am summarizing all the question in single question. Many people ask that, what are the sectors or what are the opportunities which we can take or we can start now or in new normal in Northeast or in Assam?
See, I have already given, like, agriculture is a sector which is all time hit sector. It is just like Jitendra and Dharmendra of Hindi cinema, that whosoever will be the superstar, but Jitendra will always be there as a hero. So agriculture is always a superstar to start anything, anytime. Only thing is that you have to identify what are the requirements, because as I told you, that is agri business or the organic farming or any kind of cultivation. This sector itself have a lot of potential, still untapped. Uh, Tourism, another sector which is still not fully harnessed. Water resources, we have so much of the water resources. People are building artificial ponds and then doing this fish cultivation, fish farming. We have so much of the water bodies, natural water bodies. You have to need not spend anything, a single penny on that. So that is technology based solutions. Okay. Next, most of the students from us or the northeast, they go to the cities like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Gurgaon, and they work in the call centers. Can't we have some policy that we can bring those call centers in Assam, so that our students need not to go to those places, and since our call centers also will be having land availability in Assam at a relatively at a cheaper rate, and they will be getting our students, our boys and girls, relatively at a cheaper rate. So this can itself will be one policy which we can think of.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So we have lots of questions, but due to time constraint, we are going to other question for Banik sir. So my first question for Banik sir, how can we motivate our students for entrepreneurship, irrespective of science, commerce, arts?
Yes, actually, as I told you that entrepreneurship doesn't come out from commerce or science or any particular subject. Entrepreneur come from entrepreneur. अंदर से कुछ आना चाहिए. And for that, you'll find lot of entrepreneurs in India and outside, big entrepreneurs. They started very small, ultimately they have become big, but they didn't have even minimum qualification also. Think of Bill Gates or think of GRD, Tata and all. They didn't have good, and most of them are college droppers. You find in India also lots of college droppers are there. I am not encouraging the students to drop your college and become an entrepreneur. I'm not saying that. But even without these types of education, a man can become entrepreneurs. It should come from inside. Education will become a weapon with which you can make your entrepreneurship better. But it should come from yourself only, from within yourself. And most important thing, that necessity. We have to, as Ranjit Singh sir showed very beautifully, an elephant and it's a baby elephant. It's a very beautiful thing Ranjit sir showed just in his presentation. So that way we have to give a push. Government is to give a push, and but the most important thing should come from अंतःप्रेरणा, entrepreneurship. अंदर से आना चाहिए खुद का. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Next question is about women entrepreneur. So, how would we address the problems being faced by the women entrepreneur in Northeast or Assam?
Yes, actually, see what I believe, for becoming entrepreneur, there is no problem which can be recognized as problem for a real entrepreneur. Doesn't make any difference whether he or she is man or woman, or science background or arts background, or engineering background or management background. Doesn't depend on that. I believe that. Actually, entrepreneurs, if of that force, as I showed, Hero Nauria Kai Melide Tulunga now, oh the boatman, you keep on boating, keep on rowing your boat, but don't stop your rowing even if the boat starts sinking. So same way in entrepreneurship, whatever problem comes, whatever means whatever, the person has to be able to tackle the problem. Think of Swami Vivekananda. He didn't have a single paisa. He swam up to the other side of India in the Indian Ocean. He went to rock, and he, without single paisa, how he went to America, nobody recognized him. He went to World Parliament of Religion and he delivered his speech. There's a target. There's a spirit. That spirit has to be inculcated. It doesn't depend on arts, science, commerce, man, woman, gender, etc. That's what I believe. So for women, there should not be any special problem as such. Any problem can be overcome. I believe that. But that force has to be there inside. Hope I'm clear. That's my personal opinion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. The next question is from one of the budding entrepreneur, coming entrepreneur.
Yeah.
His question is, the biggest problem for you is identifying opportunities in entrepreneurship. So what according to you are, sir, the key takeaways in opportunity identification?
Yeah. Actually, see, even Ranjit Singh sir and myself also, we have presented lots of examples of entrepreneurship, new entrepreneurship, what people are doing and what people can do. But actually, at the heart of my heart, I believe one particular person cannot do each of them together. One particular person cannot do everything or not desirable also. One particular person should take one option only. And which is that option? That is his question, I understand. I think that question should be solved. He should take only that which is close to his family, close to his heart, close to his locality, which is local, that item he should take. He should not think something which is not feasible, not possible, distant away. He should take something which is related, at least during this time, which is experience. Suppose, I'm not saying that you have to be going always traditional. Suppose one person is very much accustomed with dairy farming. He is having some cows, he is having milk, he's selling. So now if he goes for that only, then he will be a better person than myself. I don't have dairy farming experience. So his forefathers are having, he is having. So if he goes for dairy farming, not necessarily he will be milking in Jorabat and selling in Guwahati only. He can go for an establishment one day like Amul. From that, if suppose for another example, one person is a cobbler, suppose one person is a cobbler and his son is also doing that. And if he's having strong determination, burning desire, one day that cobbler boy can become the owner of a big leather, shoe company. That may be. So which is close. Suppose in, as Sir also said, in Assam, there are a lot of natural resources. So that particular student should see which is close to his heart, which is close to himself, which is feasible to him. So he should go for that. That will be better. That's what is my, there's an identification. One should, suppose one person is very good technocrat. He knows software and other things. So better go him for online shops, for creating apps, for, let him come to agro business, no problem, but not by plowing with cows, but by that software only. What he can do. The products are being rotten in different parts of the country, even Assam also, because due to lockdown, coronavirus, these are not being sold. So let him make an app, because he's expert in apps, he's expert in software. Let him make an app of that so that he can sell online this product of this particular part of this country to other part of the country. That way one should choose the project. I believe that way.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So there are lots of questions, but considering the time factor, we are going to end, and it will be the last question of this session. The next question is, what can be the traits of new normal in business?
See, as I debated, even World Economic Forum also said that there is nothing normal as new normal, because this is a paradigm shift. The new paradigm has come. You can say there's a new normal, wearing the mask and keeping the distance of 1 or 2 meters, avoiding social gathering. These are new norms. You have to follow these things. That's true. But if you think, if you make this is your lens to see the world, then your project will be limited to this only. There's no harm doing within this only. You can go for some grocery shop online within your area. But if you think that this should not be the lens through which we should see the world, then you can think beyond that. How much you can think? You can go for beyond that also, to transport, to selling from local to global. But global is not possible immediately. That is true. Global is not possible immediately. But we should not stop dreaming. We should dare to dream. It's not coronavirus आ गया तो छोटा में ही कुछ कर लो बस चलो आपको कुछ करने का नहीं है. It's not like that. Coronavirus आया तो accordingly you do something which is possible within this maintaining social distancing and other things. You do that, fine. But keep your aim much beyond that, beyond the horizon. That's what I believe, and that's what, if that burning desire is there in anybody's heart, he or she can get success. I'm confident.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I hope all the questions have been well addressed by both the resource person. And I think there are questions, but I think if the participants will go to our YouTube live, which has been, link has been shared. If you go through once again and watch the whole lecture of both the resource person, they will get all the answers which have been queried by them. And I am very thankful for both the resource person for giving, or they are acting as a positive motivator, young positive motivators for the youth. So with this, I thanks once again both the resource person for addressing the whole thing in a such a way, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Over to Rinki Das.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Really, the discussion part was also very enlightening and informative. Now we are at the end of today's webinar, and accordingly, I would like to request Assistant Professor and one of the member of today's webinar, Ms. Neha Hajorika, to offer the vote of thanks. It's over to you, Sneha.
Thank you, Rinki ma'am. Am I audible?
You are audible.
Good evening,
Yes.
everyone. We have almost come to the end of today's session. It is my thorough privilege to propose vote of thanks on this occasion on behalf of Golaghat Commerce College, its entire fraternity and organizing committee. I take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks and gratitude to our resource person, Dr. Ranjit Singh Sir, Professor, Indian Institute of Information Technology, Allahabad, and Dr. Gaur Gopal Banik Sir, Associate Professor, Department of Accountancy, Guwahati Commerce College, for gracing this occasion virtually from their respective places and sharing their knowledge and research on the topic entrepreneurship as a career for youth. Thank you very much, sir, for your informative and interesting presentation. I would also like to thank Mr. Paris Saikya, sir, Principal, Golaghat Commerce College, for his dedication and support in organizing this webinar. Special thanks to Dr. Jibanjyoti Kakoti, sir, Coordinator, Internal Quality and Assurance Cell, Golaghat Commerce College, for his encouragement and leadership to make this webinar a successful event. My heartfelt thanks also goes to all members of the technical team, Ms. Sonashri Das, Mr. Harmeet Singh, Ms. Himadri Gogoi, and Mr. Anupal Goswami for giving us an opportunity to have a discussion on this important topic. I further extend my hearty thanks to the coordinators, Mr. Rajesh Jaiswal sir and Dr. Rinki Dash ma'am, without whose support it would not be possible to organize the webinar. Last but not the least, my special thanks goes to our virtual participants for being with us. So once again, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sneha, for such a wonderful vote of thanks. Now we are at the end. Now we have to bid goodbye to everyone. I hope we have learned a lot, and our participants have also learned a lot from this webinar, and I hope they will be a successful entrepreneur in their future ahead, and wishing all them a very successful future. And we hope we will meet again with such wonderful sessions in our future work days. So with this, I would like to conclude today's session. Thanking everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me, sir. At least we should take a photo, na? It was left.
It's done. It's done. I've taken.
Is it taken?
Yes, yes.
Link दिला ना? Link.
Okay.
Okay.